and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and today we will learn all about this year's season at the Dorothy Quincy Homestead here in Quincy. First, though, we check out the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, 76 degrees with some hazy sunshine. A summer-like day today with a mix of sun and clouds. Comfortable temperatures up around 79 degrees for a high this afternoon and into the mid-60s this evening. Then we're full on summer for the next couple of days. Hazy, hot, humid. Tomorrow could be a record breaker. Temperatures in the low to perhaps mid 90s. Very hot and muggy again on Wednesday. Look out for some afternoon thunderstorms. Wednesday's highs in the lower 90s, and the storms will cool us off big time on Thursday with sun and clouds Thursday. Temperatures in the mid 60s, about the same on Friday, and it looks a little unsettled for the Memorial Day weekend coming up next weekend, but we'll worry about that as it gets closer. Enjoy today, sunny and 76 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council will hold the second of 4 scheduled meetings to review next year's proposed city budget tomorrow night. Last week, councilors trimmed almost $239,000 from the $492 million spending plan as they vowed to review each line item in an effort to reduce costs. City Council President Ann Mahoney especially is concerned about how the city's $1.8 billion in debt will impact future generations of Quincy residents.
And what I'm trying to explain is that this has always been something that we said is going to pay for itself. But as of today, when I'm looking at this, it is not paying for itself. Now, one might say, well, we have more things to do. But as of today, what we have done so far, complete $794 million, we are not one decade, but multiple. I'll be 102. I'll be long gone. But my point of this is multiple generations. And when we started this back a long time ago, it was hard. It's a hard concept. It's not an easy concept to digest.
Mayor Thomas Koch says the city's debt is manageable, although he is concerned about reductions in state and federal funding going forward. Koch says the budget is level funded with no new programs or positions. The council will continue budget meetings tomorrow, then again on June 2nd, and finally on June 10th. The former Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare building at the Crown Colony Office Park in West Quincy would become a new 55 and older residential community under a new proposal. Atlantic Development of Hingham is proposing to demolish that existing building at 1600 Crown Colony Drive and put up 5 6-story buildings with 315 condos for people 55 and older. The development would also feature a clubhouse and ground-level parking. Developer DJ McKinnon says the hope is that creating a new residential development would spur more retail activity in that area.
The cycle that we see potentially happening up there is we think some of these other sites are going to be available. We are going after them ourselves because that's, we're developers, that's what we do. And kind of the feedback we're getting both on the retail and the restaurant side is with the way the park works today, those type of uses want to be at the front of the park. They don't want to be buried in the middle. On the other hand, if we could get maybe a larger retailer somewhere in the park, now it allows things to spread out more. In the meantime, the more we can do to introduce more activity, more people, and more people living there, that just helps with that equation. But no, we have tried because, as you know, we've done a lot in the retail world, a lot of restaurants. We've reached out to a lot. We just can't get anybody to come in at this stage at that location. But our hope is, as we take on some of these other sites, which we are actively going after, that we're going to be able to bring in some restaurants and retail.
McKinnon said the new development would generate $2.5 million in new property taxes for the city. He said his firm is also trying to buy more property at that site for future development. McKinnon will make a formal presentation to the Quincy Planning Board on June 10th. The Sons of the American Legion Squadron 294 from the Morrisett American Legion Post in Quincy held their annual Memorial Day observance yesterday at the Flags for Veterans Island at Fort Square in Quincy Center. Keynote speaker, retired U.S. Navy Command Master Chief Paul Marshall, spoke about the importance of remembering that freedom is not free.
The people we honor today were sons and daughters, husbands and wives, fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters. These were ordinary people called to arms who did extraordinary things. They left behind families, dreams, and future, all for something larger than themselves. They died so we may live. And that, my friends, is why we must remember. We must remember the true cost of our freedom, that we owe them a debt that we can never, ever repay. We must remember that freedom is not free, and it was purchased with the blood of our nation's truest patriots. We must remember all this, not just today, but every day. It's important that we teach our children their names and their stories.
A marshal served 32 years of active duty and retired in 2023. He's currently the Veterans Services Officer for the towns of Braintree, Holbrook, and Avon. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office recently announced the graduation of 16 new correctional officers from their training program. A graduation ceremony was held at the American Legion Hall in Dedham. Sheriff Pat McDermott also announced the formal appointment of Francis Reynolds as the Superintendent of Jail Operations. Reynolds was among the first responders to the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings. Two new members of the team, Assistant Deputy Superintendents Jack Kilrain and Todd DeBoer, were also recognized. Both have over 2 decades of service to the Sheriff's Office. Well, over 750 people recently enjoyed some tasty samplings from over 30 South Shore restaurants at the South Shore YMCA's 29th annual Taste of the South Shore. The event was held in the field house of the Hale Family YMCA in Quincy. And attendees also were able to tour the new fitness center that recently opened there. This year's event raised $400,000 to benefit the Y's food pantry at the Germantown Neighborhood Center, and also to help provide financial assistance to qualifying families who'd like to take part in the Y's summer programs. Guests also voted on their favorite restaurants. Lavishly Done Catering won for Best Taste, Nouveau Patisserie won for Top Sweets, and Bully Boy Distillers won for Top Sip. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, the Dorothy Quincy Homestead busy getting ready for a new season. We will get all the details next. Welcome back. The Dorothy Quincy Homestead here in Quincy is preparing for another busy season, opening up soon, actually June 4th. They're open Thursdays through Saturdays from 11 to 3:30. And if Paula Pierce is here in the studio, you know there's a lot to talk about.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Paula.
Thank you for having me back again.
We're happy to do it. It's,
with everything.
It's really, I say it every year, I think, it's a hidden treasure. It's a hidden gem, the Dorothy Quincy House.
Not too many people know it's there, and it's like, and you talk to Quincy residents that come by, and they just, that are probably in their 60s have never been to the Dorothy Quincy Homestead.
It's only been there since the 1600s.
Right. I mean, I went to Central Junior High School, and it was right next door.
Right.
So it's like,
yeah.
And I never, knew it was there.
Well, right. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I think once the Dames used to have it open twice a month during the summer.
Colonial Dames, right?
Colonial Dames of Massachusetts. And then I think maybe it's the cost of the docent, to hire docents and everything. And I've taken the homestead from 2 days a week, 2 days a month, to be open 4 days each week during the summer.
Huge.
It's huge.
Huge, yeah.
And the other thing I actually did was bring special events to the homestead.
Yes.
And thanks to the City of Quincy Art Council, we have a very, very busy summer
Yes,
with
you
events.
do. Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
I'm so happy with everything.
Yeah.
So.
For folks who don't know, it's the address is 34 Butler Road, right?
Correct.
Which is-
Walking distance from the MBTA.
Right.
We're right there, not too far from Woodward School and not too far from the Quincy Historical Society.
Right.
But really in walking distance to the Adamses, which Dorothy Quincy, the Homestead did host the Adamses for maybe some eel dinners that came out of Black's Creek.
Yes, we talked about this before.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I show is the eel rake, which is, quite the effect of everything.
Yes, but a great landmark. You already mentioned the old Central Middle School.
Yes.
It's condos now, but the building is
Oh,
there,
we're
so-
right next to Butler Pond.
Yeah, another good landmark.
Come see
as
the
well.
turtles.
Yeah, exactly. The turtles are back, that's right.
Yep.
As you mentioned, a full season of activities, 9 different programs that you have, right?
Yes.
The Homestead opens, as I said, June 4th, runs Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 to 3:30. So what's going on, Paula?
Well, first of all, I'd
Yes.
like to thank the City of Quincy residents, the mayor, the city councilors, and the Community Preservation Committee for the $325,000 grant that we were granted this summer to paint the homestead.
Yes.
That is a huge, huge, huge grant, and we're greatly appreciated
Okay.
for that. I mean, we wanted the homestead to be there for the next 250 years
Need
for
to
the
protect it, right?
generations to
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I'm guessing it's going to stay yellow?
It's got to stay yellow.
Okay.
I mean, we can't change much.
Right.
It's even to get a door on the visitor center,
Yeah.
I have to go to the hierarchies with the state because it's changing something. There was never a door there before, even though I'm going to match the door in the old kitchen.
Yeah.
To match it, you need to go through all these loops to have things covered.
Sure.
Where
It's
we-
DCR property, right?
It's
Owned by the
DCR
state.
property. We have 4 windows that need to be replaced because they were different, look different, different pieces of wood on the top that aren't there now, that should be there, and we went back on pictures to say, yeah, it was there. It needs to be replaced.
Okay, so everything just takes twice as long to do.
It just
sounds
takes-
like on a historic property.
On a historic property. We also got a grant last year to do the shed with new roof, de-lead the building, and make it room for the chariot to come back. With another grant I got
Okay.
to put wheels on it.
The John Hancock.
The John
chariot.
Hancock chariot.
Yes.
So that's be an exciting. That's probably going to be happening August, and we might be getting the chariot back.
Okay.
We have to get the roof done and some other things going on.
Sure.
At the homestead.
Okay.
But we do have 2 former guides coming back, John Thomas and Max, who have been there for previous years.
Excellent.
Along with, thanks to the City of Quincy, they provide us with student docents, probably 4 that rotate through the 4 days
Nice.
at the homestead. And I thank Bob Damon for that program.
Super, great.
So we're really busy this summer.
You have a
with
full lineup, yeah.
full lineup with everything. The cost of the tour is $10
Okay.
for an adult, and there's a discount for veterans, vets, and for children.
Very good. Okay. And it all starts Saturday, June 6th, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's run down the events, Paul. Let's tell
Okay.
folks what's going on. Yeah.
June 6th is, I just want to thank
Yeah.
the Quincy Art Council for the $4,000 to do these programs. The first program is the Colonial Printer. This is probably his 3rd year. I've had him back. He's a great hit. He'll show you how the printing presses were used during Paul Revere time.
Neat.
He will also have some of his wares that he sells of the prints going back to Paul Revere. Very interesting. He'll be there all day.
Okay.
We then have June 20th is the Teddy Bear Picnic. This event is put on by the Dorothy Quincy Hancock chapter of DAR.
Okay.
This chapter has only been back in existence for the past 2 years. Quincy didn't have a DAR for 50 years. So we brought it back, and we're growing bit by bit. And they are hosting this particular event. Great games for the kids, teddy bears on the ground, learn how planting a garden, all sorts of different things will be there at the homestead that day.
June 20th.
June
Okay.
20th. June 27th, we have a garden tour. Now, Rebecca Dinsmore has been gardening at the homestead for 25 years.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible year. She's going to be there talking about the herbs, maybe some herb medicine we can get her to do. That's still in the planning. It should be a wonderful event. In fact, the Dorothy Quincy chapter just planted a new tree on the homestead.
Oh.
Dogwood tree.
Dogwood tree?
Pink dogwood tree, to replace a tree that came down many years ago.
Oh, very good.
So they're very active in the homestead.
Nice.
July 4th, we're going to be closed because I think people, going to historic places might not be their topic.
Yeah,
Maybe the
it's
beach
on a Saturday
will be.
this year, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the beach will be. July 11th is Plymouth Plantation.
So this is brand new, right?
This is brand new this
Yeah.
year. The people of the Dawnlands showing American Indian crafts. And I wanted to do this program because of the presence in the past of when Squanto met Miles Standish out in Squantum.
At the Muswatucket Hummock, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
This
you
type
can
of
see
thing.
it right at the corner of Quincy Shore Drive.
Yeah,
and
right there.
Swan Street,
Well,
yeah.
so this program is only from 11 to 12, but it should be a great event
Okay.
for people to come and listen to.
So you don't have to go to Plymouth. You can just come.
You just
right
can
to the
come to the homestead for this program.
Okay, and we should mention all these programs we're talking about are on the Discover Quincy website, right?
Discover Quincy website, and you can see everything that's going on
Yes.
with the homestead.
Great. So there's basically something every Saturday.
I might have one Saturday that I don't. I think the last open day I don't have
Okay.
anything booked, but that could change.
It could change. That's
That
right.
could change. So then on July 25th,
Yep.
there's the Bailey's Company Living History Program. This is the second year of having them back.
Okay.
They will be demonstrating cooking, maybe a fashion show they'll be there, embroidery, spinning, and they will have the Bailey's Regiment, okay?
Colonel Bailey's Second Massachusetts Regiment with drills, music, and living history demonstration,
Station.
including musket firing.
Musket firing at the homestead.
Yes.
Last year was phenomenal. I mean, to have something like this go
Yeah.
on in Quincy. I mean, we see it in the parades, but now you actually could talk to the reenactors.
Yes.
And phenomenal. So
This
they're
is-
back.
This is great for America 250. You know, it's a great event to have for that as well. Yeah.
The 250 event.
I know we had it last year for Quincy 400.
Yes, and we're having them back. I think that, as long as I'm be involved in the homestead, I'll have Bailey's back.
Oh, all right. There you go.
They're just phenomenal people to work with.
Fantastic. And that's July 25th.
July 25th.
Okay, excellent.
August 1st is Blacksmith is coming back. He will be making, actually making things, bending things and having like an open flame doing it.
So a forge.
Forge, everything. He's excellent. Along with his wife is coming, and she's a colonial embroidery and she will be demonstrating.
Wow. Because that's Dean and Laurie Rance.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
August 1st. And all these events we're talking about outside, weather permitting, right?
Weather permitting,
Okay.
and as long as they're free to come visit, as long as you don't go in the house for a tour.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And we are handicap accessible
Yes.
on the first floor. August 8th, the chocolate maker is back.
You said this is your favorite.
This is probably as much as it is as Bailey's Company is the chocolate maker.
Okay.
He's phenomenal. How he makes his chocolate. He does a demonstration on that, and he sells his chocolate.
Of course.
Of course, it's like you come early because he sells out. So
Okay.
he's phenomenal.
Robert Lecce is his name, from Pewter Pot Fine Spice Chocolates.
Yes.
And you get to see your chocolate made right before your eyes.
Yes.
Neat.
Well, they're all wrapped up in little things, little paper with a seal on it.
Sure.
They're really, in colonial times, how they would wrap up a chocolate bar.
I see. Okay.
August 15th, we have a lace maker. I'm still working on the details of that.
Okay.
August 22nd is the Colonial Spinner, and Zoe's coming back again. Lassen is coming back again. She's been at Paul Revere, demonstrating her spinning wheels. She sets up her little tent out in the grass, and great conversationists about the art of spinning.
And they really, these reenactors really play the role, right? I mean,
They play the roles.
They're dressed in
They're
period
dressed
costume. They speak in period language, like kind of Old English. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really immerse yourself.
Immerse
in it.
yourself in there.
Yes.
We also have, we'll be part of Heritage Day, which is a big city event.
Huge last year. Yeah.
It was huge. All the homes are open free of charge
On the same day.
on the same day. They have buses
the
going
trolleys
around.
and buses you had to take
Going
folks
around, which is great. And then the Boy Scout Jamboree, which is 1,000 Boy Scouts in the city of Quincy over Columbus weekend.
Wow.
We're going to be planning a September event when we have the homestead painted and the shed done, and the chariot will be back. John Hancock's chariot will be back with wheels, and it's a big celebration to thank the city of Quincy for all their efforts that they have in supporting the Quincy homestead.
Where has the chariot been, Paula?
It's been down in Attleboro for the past year and a half.
Being
so
restored.
it's a big thing. The wheels come over from France.
Oh.
So it's very precise on how to building it. We're
Okay.
just kind of figuring out. We're hoping. I was told it was going to fit. Okay. So it's like we're just holding our hands and fingers and hoping that she will go back where she belongs.
Okay.
We're working with DCR on the shape of the doors for the for the shed. And that's the thing that has to go up the hierarchy because of the historic places.
Okay. So there is an
okay.
existing shed there now?
There is an existing.
Okay.
Half of it is has Rebecca's tools in it, and the other half, it was where the Hancock chariot was.
Oh, all right.
And the chariot actually was restored maybe 30, 40 years ago by the city of Quincy.
I see.
Before it came back to the homestead.
Okay.
So
now now it'll be mobile.
Now it will
Sort
be
of.
mobile. I don't know about the Flag Day Parade.
I was
maybe
just
some year.
read my mind.
Maybe we can get somebody wheel it down Hancock Street. I don't know if the dames would be willing to let
probably
their
not,
precious, but maybe on a flatbed. I don't know.
We'll see.
We can see.
It'd be nice to see it out in public for sure.
No.
Yeah.
But the dames take care of the help with the grounds. They pay for the heat. They pay for the air conditioner. We do have, with the visiting center, we do have air conditioning, and we do have portable air conditions in some of the rooms where I have a plug to plug it in.
Sure.
If I don't have a plug, I can't plug it in.
Sure.
So in the window unit. So it's doable.
Yes. How many? What's the acreage there, Paula?
About 2.5 acres.
Okay. All right. It's my part of the reason people don't know it's there. It's kind of set back, from the road. So if you're not.
I think it's set back, and it's trying to keep the trees so that it doesn't block it.
Right.
The area.
Yeah.
And it's like probably people drive by it every day, and they
sure.
say, "What is that?" They never see it open, but hopefully this summer we're going to be open. And
Well, 4 days a week is a far cry from 2 days a month. So you've really expanded that. Yeah.
Yes. It's really. Last year we were open a little more, but we decided to get more closer to the national parks
Yes.
schedule.
Yeah. For folks who might not be aware, just give us a very brief overview of the house itself. It's Dorothy Quincy's house. She was the wife of the first governor of
Edmund the
Massachusetts, right?
First came over. He built a house. House is no longer there, but we know where it was.
Right.
We actually did it. I think Edmund the First and Second were there, and then the third and the fourth, don't hold me to this,
Yep.
built the big house where it stands right now. It
Yeah.
had Edmund the Fourth lost the house. His rich brother down in Wollaston, what I call them the rich Quincy's.
Yes.
They were doing pioneering and actually got a lot of gold and jewelry, and that's how they made their wealth.
Yeah.
So we call the Josiah Quincy House the rich Quincy's.
Gotcha.
But I don't see the rich Quincy's. They
Gotcha.
get the real stuff.
It's an interesting story, and if folks take the tours with
Yes.
the docents or even the student tour guides, they'll learn the history of the Quincy family.
The Quincy family
Yeah.
and all the history that behind it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's well worth the effort.
Yeah,
for sure.
last summer we were fortunate, and the Butler family donated 3 portraits of the Butlers. Now the Butler family was responsible for Butler Road and Butler Pond,
Yep.
and we have their portraits in the visitor center.
Nice.
And we actually have a picture that's on the wall showing that the 3 portraits were in the house.
Oh, okay.
Probably in the visitor center.
Okay. So you put it back where they belong.
We put them back where they belong.
DiscoverQuincy.com, or we're putting up the Dames website as well. Folks want to learn more about them. But I hope you have a fantastic season.
And we're always looking for volunteers.
Okay.
Just how I came involved was the Dames had an open house, and I showed up, and I said,
There you go.
I want to be involved in this house.
And here you are.
And here I am today. It's like, okay.
Thanks so much, Paula.
Thank you for having
you're
me.
Welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Forecast is great today. Get out and enjoy it. Sunshine up around 80 degrees. Low humidity, dry conditions, comfortable this evening. Hot and humid for the next couple. And then we're back to May weather here on Thursday with temperatures only in the mid-60s by then. Thanks again to Paula Pierce for joining us from the Colonial Dames, the Dorothy Quincy Homestead. Thanks to our crew, and thank you for watching. Friday here in the show, Manic Community Health Center stops by. We'll talk about their June Bloom fundraiser. Meantime, check our website, qatv.org, for all of our latest programs. There's news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.